First things first, I'ma say all the words.
It's 5:30 in Stockholm. That's CET, Central European Time. I'm really thrilled to see so many people in this session today. And very welcome to all of you. We're going to be together approximately for 40 minutes. And I will share with you a compound of my experience from over 20 years of developing leaders and companies. I am Lise Claesson, and I work as a business and leadership developer. As an executive coach, I am based in Stockholm, Sweden. And for those of you who don't know me, I would like to share a little bit of my background. And I have more than 20 years of leadership experience. I have a background in management consulting, and I've had several executive roles, including CEO. Today, I lead my own company, Brighter Leaders, with a team of 5 and growing. And we work with leading brands all over the world at an executive level. So if you wish to know more about me, you can, of course, check my LinkedIn profile. And should you wish to know more about my professional work, then you can visit my homepage, which is www.brighterleaders.com. And my ambition today is to share with you my experiences, give you value. This session is thought to give you as much value as possible, so that you may have some new thought, some reflection, or a new knowledge that is valuable to you in your business life or on a personal level. So let me start by congratulating you for taking action. You are here today, investing time in your own development. So think about this. What is left of good leadership habits? For instance, booking time in your calendar for reflection. Having insights like knowing when you need to give feedback to someone, but not doing it. Learning a new leadership skill, but not using it. Or having a positive mindset, focusing on solutions rather than problems, but not seeing it through. You see what I mean? It is necessary to have the mindset. It is super important to have this and scale up your leadership skills and knowledge. But if you don't put this into action, how good is that? I'm seeing in the chat that someone is asking about the recording. Yes, this session is being recorded. If you don't want your name or your face to show, you can send me a private message, and then I can take it out of the recording. So anyone that doesn't want to be seen in terms of name or picture, just send me a private message and I will fix that. So would you agree that you need to put these 3 pillars? You need the mindset, you need the skills and knowledge, and you need the action. So which of these pillars do you feel you would need to focus on to take your leadership to the next level? So if you please would share with me in the chat and with all of us, because this is an interactive session. So the more you participate, the more you're going to take with you today. So let me know in the chat which one of these 3 pillars you feel that you would need to start to work more with in order to take your leadership to the next level. I'm seeing mindset, action. I'm seeing interaction, more mindset. So if it is mindset, you need to improve to take your leadership to the next level. If it's skills or knowledge, or if it's putting all these things together, I see skills a lot, responsibility, more mindset, action, and interaction. What you need is a structured, planned, prioritized way to working with processes to follow up, to take your leadership to the next level. So you might be ambitious or eager to start working straight away with your leadership. You might say to yourself that you wish to work with the 3 pillars. This is good. In this case, you need a very clear plan. I'm seeing self-promotion, decision-making. The thing is, if you don't have a clear plan for your leadership, then you need to schedule time. Sit down, schedule time, and think about this. And if you need help, get help. It could be possible that you haven't thought about this in this way, and that you need to reflect upon it. In that case, I would suggest to schedule time in your calendar to reflect, to define a plan, to have a clear vision on why you wish to develop your leadership. The why, your why, is always the starting point, not the how. So when I'm saying some things here, it might be more related to the how. So let's start with the why. To have a very clear vision, why you need to develop your leadership. And when you have a clear vision, the hows will come to you. When you have the why and the how, make sure you go all the way to the what's. What can I do today? What step do I need to take today? However small it might seem, that will keep you in the path that takes you, your leadership, to your leadership you envision. So let me give you an example. If you, when reflecting upon your leadership, realize you need to improve your feedback skills, a small first step could be to find out where you can learn more about feedback techniques. Then you might step upon the newest within feedback, which is feed forward. Does it make sense that if you don't change anything in your leadership, you don't upgrade your mindset, you don't upgrade your skills and knowledge, or you don't take action, you will be where you are? You'll be doing things exactly the same way you always have and getting the outcomes you always have. Guess what? When nothing happens, well, nothing happens. I'm a curious person. So a couple of years ago, I heard the word neuroleadership. And since then, I have been reading and taking courses and listening to brain research and applying it in my everyday life, both at work and personally. The brain is a muscle like any other. Just like when we train physically, we train, for instance, in intervals. We do as many repetitions as we can for, say, 20 seconds, then we rest for a couple of seconds, then we repeat, then we rest, and so on for a couple of intervals. I'm going to pose a question, and you can please give me your answer in the chat. Being the brain also a muscle, how do we rest the brain best? How do we give our brain the rest that it needs? So please share in the chat. Sleep, meditation, I'm hearing. More meditation, yeah, excellent. Sleep, excellent. Would you agree that it seems quite intuitive to rest our other muscles when we're training them hard? Someone mentioned doing one thing at a time. Yeah, we're not done for doing multitasking. Our brain is not made that way. Yeah, giving time to yourself, reading. When we feel any other muscle on the body tired, we feel the pain, we give the short muscle a rest, right? So the brain rests the best, as many of you have said, through sleep. But this is provided that we have a good sleep. If we sleep restlessly or wake up a lot during sleeping time, it becomes a jagged sleep. And then the brain is not getting as good a rest as it could. And other ways of resting, as some of you mentioned, are reflecting, meditation. when we give our brain these resting times, the brain sorts things and sorts things out and takes a short break. So doing things you like a hobby, mindfulness, prayer for the spiritual, or breathing exercises are also good ways to rest the brain. Even if you focus on one thing at a time, you need to give the brain rest anyway. So sometimes you need just to nothing, or daydream. Daydream is a great way to give your brain some rest. Think about this. The brain accounts for 2% of the body weight, but is getting 20% of all the body's resources. And it's running 24/7, right? So would you agree that we know pretty much what to do to have strong muscles and a strong body? And if we don't, we know where to get the information. But I would dare to say, on the other hand, we know much, much less how to have a strong brain. Did you know, for instance, that recent neuroscience has found out that approximately 97% of all our decisions are governed by this area of the brain that is called the default mode network? Yes, you heard correct, default, like in autopilot, like we're not even thinking about it. In other words, the subconscious mind. It completely blew out my mind when I heard this for the first time. This means that only 3% of our decisions are conscious ones. So let's make them count. So what's called the conscious mind, the prefrontal cortex, also called the central executive network, is where the rational thinking is taking place. So you see what's happening. 97% of our decisions are irrational. They're happening here in the default mode network, what's called as well the imagination. And it is governing our lives. I'll share the screen with you and give you a visual on how this could look like. So you could say that this default mode network is like a huge elephant doing what it wants. And then we have this relatively small amount of decisionings happening here in the central executive network, the prefrontal cortex, which in comparison would be like this little fly that you're seeing here in the picture next to the elephant. So my question is, what would be the effect of having our default mode network, our imagination, this huge elephant, work for us instead of against us? What I mean is, think about this. I'm going to give you an example. Think about a little child who is afraid of the dark. What's happening inside of this child's mind? He thinks in this default mode network, the imagination, and this part of the brain makes him believe so strongly that there's a ghost or a monster or some horrible Jack the Ripper waiting to strike in the darkness, outside the door of his room or inside the wardrobe or under his bed. So much so that for this child, this belief becomes a reality in his mind. Now, let's think about ourselves. What kind of imagination is leading us, limiting us by telling us, no, you never reach those goals. You'll never be able to do that. No, that's not for you. Or even telling us, no, that's not for you. Telling us often what we cannot do. At the same time, do you see the opportunity in this? What would happen if our imagination was, on the other hand, telling us, oh, you'll definitely achieve those goals. Yes, that's for you. If we had empowering thoughts and beliefs instead of disempowering thoughts and beliefs. So let's do a little exercise here. Let's be interactive again. And please write down in the chat, because I'm sure that as I was mentioning it, you already thought all these negative thoughts or disempowering beliefs were like flashing through your brain and you recognize them. So please share with all of us, what kind of disempowering belief or disempowering thought do you recognize? For instance, today or yesterday or the last couple of days. So we have someone sharing, Binay sharing past experiences and mind voices. We feed, this is a limiting factor, definitely. Definitely, we have all these voices in our head that I like calling Frankenstein, telling us, no, you're not going to succeed. No, why would you believe that? So it's the inner dialogue we have in our mind. You will never get rich in this country. Definitely, that's a disempowering belief. Absolutely. Negative thoughts, yes, but what negative thoughts? Could you identify them? How will I do it? Exactly, go into the how too soon before we have landed in the why. When the why is bigger than our fears and our negative feelings, then the hows come to us. External environment, okay. Not being confident, definitely. Feeling weak, fear of how people will react, definitely. And then we have all these inner dialogues, right? If I say this, they might say that. If I react in that way, they might think that, what will happen. Not having the professional autonomy, not being good enough, definitely. That's a disempowering belief. Feeling stuck, absolutely. Will I manage along with work? Overthinking unnecessary. There's so many different disempowering beliefs and thoughts. And the thing is that with which each disempowering thought and belief comes a disempowering feeling. So every time we have disempowering thoughts, we get, even if it's not something that we're looking for, we get a disempowering feeling. So we need to break that pattern, right? So since the thought evokes negative emotions, and the reason why I ask you to write this down and share is because sharing is a first step to increase awareness. Without awareness, you won't be able to get rid of the disempowering belief. So all of you have already shared, you're a step closer to getting rid of your disempowering thought or belief. Yeah, blame the culture or blaming someone else, putting the blame outside. That's disempowering, because we cannot change everything that's outside of us. Everything that's inside of us, we can change. So that is empowering. So it's about getting back the power, being empowered in order to be able to change our situation. So let's do an exercise together. It is small. This is something small. So you have no excuses not to do it, okay? And it will be a good place to start. So what I would like you to do when we finish this session is to reflect on every negative thought or feeling or behavior you are engaged in and write them down. Once you've done this, write next to each negative the opposite thought, feeling, or behavior. That is, write a positive one, okay? And this might take you between 5 and 15 minutes, depending on how aware you are. And when you're done, you look at the statements, the negative one, the positive ones, and you decide which statements resonate best with the best version you wish to be, the best version of yourself. I hear from some leaders that I work with that they are not at present the person they wish to be. So start by asking yourself, am I being the best version of myself? So let me ask you, so far in this session, what takeaway do you have? What has been useful? What has triggered some new thought? What has given you some new insight to share with all of us in the chat, please? The exercise I just shared, thank you. And it's important, it's important to be practical. In everything that I do in my work, there is the concrete aspect of it. It needs to be practical, not in theory. And someone in the beginning, before we started, suggested take notes. That's a great, great, great suggestion. Because what I'm giving you right now, for me, it's knowledge because I have applied it through many, many years. For some of you, it might be knowledge because you're already applying it. For some of you, that this might be, some aspects might be new. What you are receiving is information. In order for you to change information into knowledge and be able to develop your skills, you need to apply it. So information without appliance, it's just information. In order to become knowledge, you need to apply it practically. Yeah, the brain winning and power of subconscious mind, definitely. We can master our minds, or at least we can prompt our mind to help us with positive feelings and thoughts. And this is like any other training. It's difficult in the beginning and it takes time, but it becomes easier and easier. And I would like to share something else with you, because as I mentioned, I like being very practical. So I like the theory, that's good, but I always like the practical aspect of it. So the next step towards a sharper leadership would be a leadership assessment. Your success and personal happiness increases when you're confident and strong in your leadership role. So a leadership assessment doesn't take more than 15 minutes and you do it online. So really, there is no excuse not to do it. It will help you understand your natural motivational factors. It will develop your leadership style and increase your confidence. It will help you understand and learn more about yourself and others. It will help you as well develop strategies for improved leadership and increased levels of energy. Leaders that have already taken the leadership assessment say things like, it has given me new insights that increases my own understanding and understanding of others. We have department stores managers, chief financial officers, CEOs, quality managers, team leaders, vice CEO, marketing coordinator. Now I have a concrete action plan to move forward with. It is so important to be concrete. It is so important to know what's my next step, what do I need to do, and see the results in your leadership. And I like to overperform, to overdevelop, deliver. So I'm going to share something else with you. And before I do that, let me just give you a little more ideas on what a leadership assessment can do for you. If you take the leadership assessment, you will have a stronger confidence, stronger leadership. You will create positive change. You will develop and grow. You will explore your potential. You will share your challenges with a professional coach. On the other hand, if you don't do the leadership assessment, you will have the same confidence you have now. You will have the same leadership. You will have no change. You will have stagnation. Your potential remains unexplored. and you're alone with your challenges. I see Christina Pokis raised her hand. I cannot see everyone as I'm doing the presentation. So maybe the best thing is if you could write in the chat, and if it's something you can share with everyone, otherwise you can PM me. And Dinah, if I'm, you can also PM Dinah, D-I-N-A-H, which is working with me today, helping me with the technical aspects. So you can also contact her. And as soon as I'm done with the presentation, I can check my PMs and answer any questions that you might have. As I was saying, I really like to over-deliver. I want to give you as much value as you can today. So for all of you that become an action taker and get the leadership assessment today, and do not procrastinate with excuses, because it's so easy to make up excuses for us. You know, it's that Frankenstein voice in our default mode network talking to us again. You know, no, why do that? It's not going to take you anywhere. It's not going to lead anywhere. You know, have you done so many of that and whatever? And all this inside dialogues. So for all of you that take action and take the leadership assessment, I wish to surprise you and reward you. And I wish to give you even more value. So this is what I'm willing to do for all of you that get the leadership assessment today. I will give you a free coaching session. That's what I'll do for you. You get that. You get the leadership assessment, and I will give you for free a coaching session. So what you need to do, I'm making it very easy for you. There are no excuses. This is very easy to do. You go to brighterleaders.com. You choose English because it's in Swedish, so you choose English. You click on store, and then you click on the leadership assessment. It's as easy as that. No procrastination, no excuses. Now it's time to prioritize yourself and do something for your own development. So why take the leadership assessment? Well, you will evolve and grow. You will get unstuck. You will move forward towards the leadership that you're envisioning, to your future. You will invest in yourself. You will prioritize yourself. You get past your fears, your pains, your frustrations, whatever that's keeping you up at night. You will empower yourself. So the free coaching session is worth $280 American dollars. And this offer is valid to you today until midnight, 11:59. So you take action, you do this, and you get the free session. All you need to do is go to the homepage, Brighter Leaders, click on store, and then click on the leadership assessment. So I'm giving you all you need to have in order for you to change your situation, in order for you to break the pattern of these disempowering thoughts and feelings and behaviors. And I can see in my homepage, I can see in my homepage that some of you are already taking action. Congratulations. Congratulations. If you want to be the best version of yourself, if now is not the right time to prioritize growth and development, then when? So, congratulations. Oh, some more getting the leadership assessments. That's really great to see people taking action. If we will get the link through email, yes, no problem. You will be getting an email today. Yes, Shirian, yes, it's in crowns for 1,950. That's approximately $500. I'm not sure exactly. but you can check and what it is in your currency. But you will be getting an extra coaching session worth $280, almost half the price of the leadership assessment. So for all of you that are already getting the leadership assessment, congratulations. I look forward to seeing you in your first feedback meeting for your assessment, and then we're going to book the free coaching session. So we're going to be meeting 3 times. We're going to be meeting 2 times to feedback you on the leadership assessment, finding a very concrete plan from your own development for you to grow, to move forward. And then on top of that, we're going to meet a 3rd time, and then you can bring up any challenge you want, any situation you want, and I will coach you through it so that you get the tools to move forward and you have a very concrete plan of action. So please, for your own sake, don't procrastinate. Procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. If you want to change, if you wish new challenges, if you desire growth, you have pains and frustrations draining your energy, you can get rid of all of this. All you need to do is take this chance, take it today, so you may benefit from the free coaching session I'm offering when you get the leadership assessment. So the leadership assessment will get you inspired, will get you motivated, energized. It will take away some of your frustrations. You do the leadership assessment and the rest will start to follow. Okay, I'm getting some messages both on the chat and on my phone. Yes, it is in Swedish crowns. The value is in Swedish crowns. All you need to do is you can Google on the internet your own currency and see how much it is. Approximately in American dollars, but not many of you here are using American dollars, but just as a reference, is approximately $500, approximately, okay? The certificate you will be getting a whole workbook. A whole workbook. It's much more than a certificate. You can get the certificate as well, since I am a certified practitioner for the leadership assessment, so I can give you a certificate. But the certificate is to show someone else. What you really are getting, that's the value for you, is that you will be getting a workbook, 28 pages for you to go through in your own tact, where you have your plan of action in order to take your leadership to the next level. My mission as a professional coach is to help as many leaders as possible. If we develop the leadership, we develop our companies. When we develop our companies, we develop society. And when we develop the leadership, we're not only developing the professional aspect, we are developing as well the personal aspects. So we're developing our friendships, our personal relationships. What I'm hearing from my clients is that, and I hear this all the time, they say, everyone should have a coach because this is amazing how I'm growing. Yes, Dinah, we can, if there are any emails that you need to have, I would suggest the best thing would be if you can please screenshot them so that we don't miss any emails and we can get in touch with anyone that has a query. So I was telling you, if financials is a limitation for you, I can give you 2 opportunities. One opportunity is that you get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me, and I'm going to give you my email address here in the chat straight away, so that anyone can get in touch with me there. That's my email address. Get in touch with me and let me know. I can give you the possibility to pay in 2 installments. Another possibility is if you want to pay now from your credit card and then you want to bring it up with your company. Many companies are very open to developing their leaders. I wish to say as well that this is not such a big sum, and what you're getting from it is much beneficial. I would like you to put into relationship, where are you right now? Where are you at your level of maybe frustrations or pains, or if you're stuck, some of you wrote down that you feel stuck, or in the level of how much you're being affected by the negativity of your own thoughts, causing as well behaviors that are not helping you forward. So put that in relationship to the value I'm offering to you today, because what I'm telling you, what you're getting in value to get rid of all these frustrations, all these pains, all this negativity, it's worth much, much more than the approximately $500 that the leadership assessment is worth. So Dinah, please let me know if you have been able to take all the email addresses so that we can get in touch with the people that want to get in touch with us.
Yes, I have, Lizzie.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So if there's not any other question or anything else that you want to share, I want to thank you so very much for being here today and for
Lizzie,
giving me.
there's a question in what is the cost of the coaching session?
Oh, no, the coaching session you get for free. It is worth $280, but you get it for free when you get the leadership assessment. So that's the extra value that I'm giving to you today, because I really want you to prioritize yourself. I want you to become a better leader. I want you to stop having these negative, disempowering thoughts. I want you to change the pattern. I want you to be in your best version of yourself. So that's why I'm giving you this extra value, for you to have no excuses not to take the step.
Lizzie?
Yes?
What is the cost then if there's a development plan?
You will get, with the leadership assessment, just by taking the leadership assessment, you will get like your own plan, a workbook with lots of concrete actions to take. On top of that, you will have an extra coaching session with me, and there we can specify, we can break down your goals. If you have a goal, if you have a vision of what you desire, both on a professional and personal level. So I can help you design the sub goals in order for you to know exactly what you need to do. If you would like to have a coaching program with me, and this is what I do with all the leaders I work with, I have coaching programs for 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months. And then we meet as many times as you need, and as long as you need. I am, on top of that, available for you on mail and over the phone, working hours at any time. So what you're getting is someone that's going to help you along all the way. Because I realize that some leaders, the leadership assessment is just the first step. It's the first step. If you really want to work with your career, you want to work with yourself as a leader, then what you need is a special program that's tailored for you. We make it together. We talk about what are your desires, what is your vision, what is your personal situation, what is it you want in life? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What do you want to be next year? And through that, we identify and we customize a program for you. So you can, either you can send me an email. I'll write my email address again because it might have been lost in the conversation of the chat. So that's my email address again. You may copy it or just click on it. And if you're interested in knowing more about the coaching program, we can get in touch and we can talk about that. So we can have like a very short session, maybe 20 minutes, that's for free, completely for free. So any of you that would be interested in that, just send me an email and we book a free session for 20 minutes to talk about the possibility of how you can develop as a leader. Thank you very much. I'm really so happy being able to have been able to share some of my thoughts, some of my discoveries during the years. what I've shared here today, many of these things have taken many, many years for me to discover and master. Because at a conscious level, at a rational level, you know, here, the prefrontal cortex, at a rational level, we all know this. Maybe the things that we've heard today were not so new, but to change your inner voices, everything that's here on the default mode network, to change your inner voices, that demands training, skills, changing the mindset, putting things into action, and having the right tools. So this I have mastered during the years. This is what I help my clients with, and this is what I'm here for you to help you, because I really, you know, making you a better leader, making you a better person, making the world a better world, you know, that's my passion. That's what I do. So thank you very, very much. I booked a reservation. Lovely. I love that. Yes, excellent. And we'll be in touch. So if you want to unmute yourselves, and we can just say our goodbyes and thank you. So please feel free to unmute yourselves, and we can all say goodbye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.